Welcome back to the Ivy Unleashed podcast. Today is a big day. It is February. We are officially over a month into the year. Do you still remember your New Year's resolutions? Most people don't. So if you don't, it's okay. You are normal. I read a stat last week that it was like by January 12th, people don't remember. Mm-hmm. And I feel like it's because you've got the hype, you're excited, but you have no plan. And so today we really want to talk about the follow through. Mm-hmm. We're talking about 2024 transformative habits, what we're doing, how we're doing it, and that comes from having a plan.
Yes. And when I think about goals and I think about following through, I think about wanting to feel proud of myself because at the end of the day, there's always this like, did I do what I said I wanted to do? And if the answer is yes, it feels so good. And I'm not saying it has to be perfect because life is not perfect. It's messy and there's going to be days that things get in your way. Mm-hmm. But if the majority of the time you have some systems in place and some reasoning behind what you're doing and why you're doing it the way you're doing it, which I feel like I'm like learning from Brooke. I'm getting organized. I'm following through more. She is like,
I think I'm too systemized.
But it works. You help me get things done. And we're going to talk through kind of how this works in our business because I feel like I've really leveled up lately by trying to be more like Brooke.
I'm honored. And say more.
And you know, the guests we have on, they give us ideas of how to like embody what you want. And really what it comes down to is doing that. And then it requires you to do the work, to take the steps, to put it into practice. Mm-hmm. And this is what we do and we live and we breathe. Mm-hmm. And so we've also created something that is so beautiful and so powerful and it is going to help you with your follow through. And we cannot wait to tell you about it. So Brooke, tell them.
Oh, we are talking about the ultimate reset. So this is something that we do once a quarter within our Move community. It's a total body reset. We're talking gut health, brain health, immune health, any health, you name it, full body here, mind and body. Fitness is what we're all about. And so we put together, it's very unique. It's a course and a challenge all in one. You see kind of the hype right now with digital creators is creating these courses. And our whole thing as health coaches is how do we get people to actually execute and implement? So the first half is really learning all about our metabolism. It all comes back to our metabolism. We want more energy. We want to feel better from the inside out. And so what are the topics of wellness that we're really focusing on, we're honing in on, and we are having you experiment with.
Yes. And we have real-time results with our Move members that are implementing this and they're raving about it. And so we're like, let's help more people. Let's talk about their favorite parts of the of being in Move and put it into the course. And so it's been really exciting to create this and then be able to have more people get a taste of Move. If you're not like, I don't know if I want to be a member, the course is a great way to get a taste of what we do, be a part of how, like, see how much fun it is and that you can get results so that you can sustain these habits so that you can have this health long-term. And it's not like this first 3 weeks of January type of thing. This is something you have access to anytime. It's a one-time purchase and then you can do the challenge anytime you want. You could start it mid-month. You could start it on the 10th. You can start it whenever you want.
Well, not on the 10th. You have to start it on a Monday. It's designed to start on a Monday.
Okay. If the 10th falls on a Monday.
If the 10th falls on a Monday, yes. But I think that's important to call out because the second half of the course is the implementing. It is the challenge. It is certain workouts that you are following Monday through Saturday. It's every Sunday is a rest day designed for play and rejuvenation. And certain days you're tracking certain habits. You're tracking your water intake, your protein intake, certain things that science shows makes you feel better and helps reset your metabolism. Mm-hmm. So this is something, like Andrea said, you can start at any time and you are buying something that you're just following through. Mm-hmm. It is laid out for you. It is mapped out for you. So you don't have to think about the plan.
What I love about it most, though, is that we have implemented some videos along the way to help guide you and feel like you're not alone. Because I think that's part of, like, if you don't do the Move membership, sometimes you feel kind of like you're doing this on your own if you don't have, like, an accountability buddy. And so we've put some videos in to kind of help walk you through the course and help you feel like we're holding your hand and that we're laughing with you and we're joking and we're silly, but also we know about behavior change, and we know it's important to feel like you're not alone in this process. So we just wanted to let you know that that's available now. You can go into the show notes. We'll be sharing it all over social media as well. So check it out, share it with a friend, do it with a friend, and let us know what you think.
Yeah, this is all about the basics, foundational wellness habits that you can start at any time that are going to last you and sustain you for a lifetime. Like, these are things within your wellness that you're going to focus on from now until you're very old. Yeah. These are the basics. And so it's really important that we're highlighting these and that we're getting them into a system for you so it can become a part of your identity. These are just things that you do, and they're non-negotiables in your life.
Yes, I love it. And that's why we're talking about that today, because it's a good way to get you started with goal setting and to think about, okay, when I am trying to push myself, what should I really consider? Because if we don't have our health, any goal we have, it's irrelevant. Like, we have to have our health and energy to be able to do these big things. You know, as an entrepreneur, Brooke and I are like, okay, our business is not going to do well if we're not well. And so we're always setting goals that help our health out first. And we want to talk about kind of our personal goals. You guys always love hearing the things that we're doing. Brooke always has some woo-woo practices. I'm getting into it too. So we want to talk about what we're doing. And I just saw Tony Robbins say the other day, because he's promoting his event, that he said like 91% of people don't meet their goals. Their New Year's goals, their New Year's resolutions, because you have this excitement, you're pumped at the beginning, and then you don't have a plan. And so there's a lot of little pieces that go along with it that are also weaved into the course that we want to talk about today. And so I want to talk about some of my goals, which some you've heard before.
I was going to say, I feel like we shared a little bit on our kickoff episode.
Yes.
But this is getting into the nitty gritty.
Yeah.
This is a real inside look.
Yeah. One of my goals is, as you know, to run a marathon in all 50 states. And I just was sent this marathon that's in November in Savannah, Georgia. If anybody wants to run it with me.
I know. I've responded, let me just start running and see how my body does. Eye emoji. And then I instantly am like, why did I say that? Why? So I'm not committing, but you never know.
It's an all women's marathon, which I think will be so cool. And so my best friend Britt is thinking about, I don't know if she's thinking about running it. If she just wants to go, I'm not sure, but she sent it to me. And my mom has been wanting to go to Savannah, Georgia forever. And so I know for sure us three are going to hit that up in November. I guess November 16th. So with that, that's one of it helps me with my health, right? To think about getting outside, getting this movement in. I've been really focused on strength training, which is awesome for my metabolism. But my true love when it comes to exercise is running. I love it. And I'm in Minnesota, so it's kind of tough. And so one of my goals is to start getting some runs in again. I haven't been running lately.
Well, good news. Next week in Minnesota, it's going to be 50 degrees.
No way.
February 1st, 50 degrees.
What?
Ian and I were going to book a trip to Fort Lauderdale, and we just keep putting it off. And last night he gets home and he goes, I think that the reason we keep pushing it back is because of this. And he shows me the weather. I'm like, oh my goodness.
What?
Global warming, eek. But
it is a roller coaster.
Wow.
Last week it was like -10. It was so cold here. This week it's great.
So you're going to be running outside in no time.
Oh, that's so fun.
You know, I wonder if there's like yoga retreats in every state.
Ooh.
I don't know how that would be like a challenge. But I got to find. I once thought like maybe Tough Mudder. No, I don't want to get dirty. I'm dirty enough. These toxins in me. I'm trying to get out, not in.
Oh, but yeah, I mean, my goals are really big. So what I want to talk about today is how I have lofty goals that make me feel excited. But we have to have the plan, the system that we talked about to execute them. So now it's like, okay, how many days a week am I running? I'm going to get a little plan going and I also want to pick like a spring, like a May marathon or something too somewhere. So starting to figure out, okay, what's this going to look like for how often I'm running, having that plan, following through. We just recorded with the Calm Mom, Michelle Grosser, and one of my big lofty goals is just to keep becoming more of a calm mom, a more present mom. And in order to do that, I have to have these little goals that help calm my nervous system. So I have little goals around meditating either in the morning or before bed, making sure that I'm getting up and having my me time, making sure I'm getting outside. That helps me a lot.
Like these are, other than running a marathon in every state, don't get me wrong. That's not basic by any means. But a lot of these habits are the basics of calming your nervous system, keeping you regulated so that you can do big things like run a successful business, run a marathon in every state.
Yes.
It's like these have to be non-negotiables.
Yeah, and it's like I start big with like what excites me, what do I really want to embody, what do I want to feel, what do I want to accomplish, and then I start to break it down. What does that actually mean day to day? So for me, and then the other goals around business, like I want more visibility for Gold Ivy Health Co. I want us to be everywhere for people to know about us. So what does that mean? That's also small little goals that I'm executing daily. And so it starts for me with prayer. That's something that calms me. It makes me feel like I'm grateful for my life. I appreciate what I have. I'm starting from a place of gratitude and love and peace for the life that I've been gifted, because I know it's a gift. I don't know when it's going to go away. And I truly feel like this time in my life is so precious. Like all three of my kids are in one school. They're so cute. They're becoming these little people that have personalities and dreams, and it's adorable. And I'm trying to like really be in this moment, be grateful for it. And then I'm taking time in the morning to visualize from there. So I pray about, I'm grateful. I'm praying about, what's going on in my life for guidance and asking the universe, source, God, whatever you want to call it. I call it God, for direction. Lead me, help me to execute this plan that you have for my life in the fullest I can. And a lot of times I get like ideas of, okay, like stay on this path, or okay, let's cut out alcohol, or okay, reach out to so-and-so. Like I get these little tips, ideas, directions. It's amazing. And then I visualize. And this is like weird for me. This is a new thing I'm doing, but it's like I am breathing, I am thinking, I'm trying to feel what I want. If I were to have visibility for Gold Ivy in every country in the world, what would that feel like in my body? Like, what impact would that make? How would I feel inside? And then like breathing through it and feeling it.
Do you think of these thoughts on your own? Do you listen to something?
This is just silence. Oh, I'm trying it. It's a little different. Not gonna lie. It's challenging because your mind goes all different places.
But I think what's important that you just said is the buildup of that, because you have things in place that are calming your nervous system so that you can receive, I call it downloads, right? From source, from God. I get my downloads when I'm coffee enemaing. That's no secret here. If you're new here, it is a secret that you're learning for the first time, but it's because,
welcome.
It's because I'm so calm and I'm not moving, and I'm just... You also can't move because the coffee inside you, it's going to do some funny thing. Okay, enough. Sorry. But you have this system in place of gratitude, of getting your body in a place of receiving, of prayer. It's important. You can't just sit there and be like, okay, God, show me. It's like, no, you've worked your way up to it. Those things that make you feel calm and regulated. And that's different for everyone. But it takes experimenting with a different system. And I feel like my system changes, just like you, like this is new for you. And so being so tapped into and tuned into what does my body and my mind need right now? What type of quiet?
Yeah. And this is where I start to channel Brooke. So I get my gratitude, I get my visualization in. And before I would go right into messy action, okay, let's check the email and what do I need to do next? Oh, an episode needs to be done by Monday. So let's edit. Now I am really executing my time blocking. And
Not a girl.
I am getting it organized because not only does it help me, get stuff done, by the time it needs to be done, but it also like helps me put in priorities, and I am making sure that I'm doing the needle moving thing first, even though part of me wants to do the fun, post something cute on social media. It's like, no, that's not the priority. And accountability usually comes last. I'm starting something new where I'm like, I'm going to text Brooke by the end of the day what I want to have done.
No, beginning of the day. You're going to text me what you want done at the end of the day.
Correct. Yep. Yes. And so that way it's accountability, knowing like I may want to get up and have a snack 64 times to avoid what I'm doing, because I do that.
Same.
I may want to look at my phone to see, did they respond to my message, or have I got an email back yet? No. It's like, let's be really accountable to the things we know we need to do first. And that doesn't have to be business related. That could be texting your friend. Ask me if I went for a walk by lunch. Ask me if I wrote in my journal tomorrow. Like, I really want to do that tomorrow at some point. I've been doing meal planning accountability with my friend Abby. She's a really good cook, and she's been making her list. And so she's texting me every Sunday or Monday saying,
I love it.
this is what she's doing so that I do it in return. And not only do I get accountability, she also gives me ideas. Yeah,
yes.
she's a good cook. It's brilliant. And then like Britt, my best friend, we do like accountability with the relationship stuff. Like, you know, ask me if I scheduled my marriage counseling, or ask me if I sat down and brought this up to my husband, or ask me if I scheduled a date. You know, those things that really help our relationship. It's helped me a lot. Like I'll follow through and I'll make the appointment with the marriage counselor. You know, I actually will follow through if she's asking, because she has my best interest at heart.
Well, accountability, it's everything. And it's also the system in place of, okay, every Sunday I'm going to do this meal plan. And then to make sure I do follow through, because it's tough to follow through because we're human and life happens, then you have the accountability. You have why you want to make the change, why it's important, what the change is, how are you actually following through, and then what is your accountability?
Mm-hmm. And I think the overarching thing has to be imperfect action. Mm-hmm. You may have to move things in your time block because you didn't get it done. You may not follow through on something that you're really avoiding. You may not do your meal planning until Thursday. But the whole idea is that they all come back to your overarching goals. As a mom, I want to have a meal plan because I get scattered and irritable if it's not planned and it comes to be 4:00 and I'm like, oh, I don't know what we're going to eat. You know, that's not being the calm mom I want to be, you know? And if I don't follow through with the business stuff, at the end of the day, I'm like, man, I really want to follow through for Brooke, for our business. I want to be proud of myself for these things that I know are important to me. And so it's like weaving back to your why, weaving back to your time blocking, weaving back to prayer, where it's like, this is not going to be perfect, but I'm just moving towards what I know is like in my soul, what I want and I desire and how I want to feel.
It's also celebrating the intention behind it, right? When we don't meet these things, we're so quick, myself included, to beat ourselves up. And it's like, wait, let's take a step back. The purpose of this is to better my life, and that's beautiful. And it's going to be an ever evolving journey to figure out what that's going to be. And something I always tell my clients is like, you need different things in every season of life. Like this, it has to be constantly changing. For you to not think it's going to change is just setting yourself up for failure. So when I don't miss it, I'm like, okay, let's be curious with it. Like, for example, one of my goals, my biggest goal this year is just my energy, raising my vibration. That includes health. It includes abundance. It includes energy and laughter and joy and all these things, like really how I want to feel. And so I decided on these 12 habits that I want to do every day. And that was my goal. And then I got
That's a lot of habits.
But it's simple things.
Okay.
It's things like, I'm going to write down 3 things I'm grateful for. I'm going to read 10 pages of a book. I'm going to move my body for 45 minutes a day. I'm going to get 10,000 steps in. And the goal is to see how many days of the year I can hit these things. And I like to gamify things. I like to see the streaks. But I got to last Sunday and I'm like, I need one day where I don't track anything.
Oh.
And so I revamped my plan. I didn't feel guilty about it. I didn't feel shame. I didn't feel like, oh, this is a cop out. It's like, no, this is what I need for my mental health. So that come Monday, I felt refreshed.
Yeah.
And all of these habits are things that I know if I prioritize them throughout the day, I'm going to feel better. And my business is going to be better and my finances are going to be better. And so it's these things that I'm seeing every day and I'm faithful about them, except for Sundays now, because they make me feel better. And that is my system. And I know I've thought about it. I just have to execute.
I feel like you have a good plan for avoiding burnout because of that day off. Just like we have in the challenge in the course. It's like, that was something when I did 75 hard, I was like, God, when I was done, I was like, oh, it's so nice to have to track everything.
And that's what I thought about was 75 hard. And then I also thought about our challenge. And I'm like, why wouldn't I follow the challenge I created? Like, this is silly. This is what I'm preaching and teaching. What? And so it gives some freedom, but it also doesn't give too much. It keeps me kind of these guardrails of what's important, top of mind. And that I do have those days where I'm not doing anything. And 365 days, that's a lot of days. I'm going to be sick. Something's going to happen. But I'm going to have the next day and this plan in place of, okay, I know what I got to get back to. I have these tools in my toolkit Same thing with these basic habits that we're tracking within the course, similar things.
Yeah. And I think too, something that you talked about is the celebration. I think that's so important because our brain needs it. Because if the mindset around this is like, I have to, and I got to push and I need to follow through, it's like, it starts to feel just overbearing and like negative, right? But with the celebration and the grace and the day off, I feel like that is setting up for success to sustain this long term. And it's part of raising your vibration and your energy is to have the day off for whatever, the freedom, the flexibility, and then knowing the reason why it's set back up on Monday to hit it hard is because of why you're doing this and like what it's going to bring you. And it's that mindset needs to be of like love and abundance and like, yes, I want the most out of my life. And these are going to help me feel so good.
Yeah. Another thing I'm experimenting with that I'm like nerding out about is a maintenance schedule. Have you ever heard of this?
What?
I saw it on the good old TikTok. And it's basic. Okay. So I was getting frustrated because I was trying to fit so much into my day. And I felt like maintenance things, like things that really make me feel good, like coffee enemas and sauning and cleaning my house in certain rooms. Like I'm like, there's just not enough hours in the day. Everything is a system. So let's just put this into a system. So I've got certain days of the week are dedicated to certain things. So like, where's my phone's out here? But Monday, I'm doing an everything shower, which means I'm taking all the decision making out of it.
An everything shower?
So you shave and you wash your hair and your body, of course.
Oh, okay.
So like literally like to the nitty gritty, these things, because decision fatigue is real. And when we're trying to do big things, I'm like, I can't worry about the little things. I got to just know when it's happening and I just execute. So
you
like,
have a system for showering?
hell yeah.
Oh my
and it's
God.
working.
You know, this girl, she's got a system for it all, man.
So like everything shower. Then Mondays, I'm cleaning my bedroom. Then Tuesdays, I'm cleaning my bathroom and I'm doing laundry. Wednesdays, what's Wednesdays? Kitchen. Like little things like that.
Okay.
Some days I'm sauning, that's in there. So like anything that I know makes me feel good or that always gets kind of thrown to the wayside, like cleaning, it's there in a day. And if something happens, life gets lifey, it is what it is.
Yep.
But I've at least thought about it. So I'm really digging that if anyone wants to steal that. And then another thing that is new is only checking and replying to messages and emails at 10 o'clock and 4 o'clock.
Love it.
Because otherwise I'm running my day on everyone else's time. And my email's up and I'm checking it constantly, or I'm checking social media messages constantly, or like feeling guilty, like I should respond to a text.
Which takes energy.
It takes energy.
Yeah.
So if I know, okay, 10 o'clock, 4 o'clock, it doesn't always have to be those times, but that's something that's really helped just through the people we've listened to when it comes to time management. Like that's the reason needle mover, number one thing, first thing you do, because you only have so much capacity.
Yeah.
Brain capacity throughout the day and productivity capacity. So these are some little nuggets that we're experimenting with, habits.
I'm excited for this year. I feel like this is the fact that I have more systems in place, channeling you. I don't know if I need to systemize my shower, but you know.
You might, and you might thank me. I'm like, what?
Never say never.
You know, I don't want to wash my hair every day.
See, I have to. I'm so sweaty that it's really hard not to after a workout. I'm just a sweaty lady. But I think it's important if you're not following through to find ways that you can. We all want to follow through. We want to feel proud. We want to be an example for others. We want to feel the way that we've been dreaming of feeling and experiencing these things. And I truly think it's possible. That's why we keep talking this way, because we're seeing things that we didn't think were possible that are. We're interacting with people I never thought I would get to talk to. Like the fact that we recorded with Dr. Shafali this week, like it's all possible. And I think it's just truly tapping into what you want and finding the ways that you can follow through, even if it's tiny, to build that momentum.
Yeah. Oh, so exciting. And we want you to have access to all of this, everything we're feeling, the systems we've put in place. So for our 3 gold stars today, the first one's going to be, if you want to start time blocking and getting intentional about getting these things in your calendar, we have a template for you. If you go to the shop page of our website, it's our focus template. So it's how we time block our week, our day, using the Ivy Lee method. And so we'll take it in the show notes below. So you can go check that out right now.
Yes. Second gold star is really just thinking about, like, what is my big goal? Like, if I could just think of one, what is it? Why is it so important to me? and just start to think about that system you could have in place, like the focus template, or maybe it's your own template.
Yeah, and the accountability.
Yeah,
That's a huge piece of it. And that leads into our new baby, the Ultimate Reset course and challenge. So if you need that accountability, if you need that plan, you don't want to think about it. You're like, I'm done looking. I'm done searching. I'm done trying to figure it out on my own. That is exactly for you. So again, we'll put it in the show notes. It's going to be located in the shop page of our website, goldivyhealthco.com. If you have any questions, send us a message, socials at Gold Ivy Health Co. We got you.
Yes. And lastly, our piece of gold quote that speaks to you, that speaks to us. Ooh, this is a good one. It's from Andrew Carnegie, and he says, if you want to be happy, set a goal that commands your thoughts, liberates your energy, and inspires your hopes. This is Gold Ivy signing off.
Listen to your truth and go chase your gold.